Welcome back to the Glac Studio. I'm Gomati Sivasankaran and we are in the oil painting tutorial focusing on the post-production checkpoints relating to oil paintings and how do we prepare them to go for exhibitions and go for sales and such. We have covered pretty much on documentation involved in our previous lessons. There is also a lesson on segmentation and pricing, and this lesson is going to focus on art exhibitions per se. The few things that I would like to share from my limited experience on exhibitions is that even before jumping into the exhibition idea, we have to look at today the options that artists have today. We all have a much what do you call varied option as opposed to what possibly artists had 15, 20 years ago. The internet has definitely helped us to go for a lot of online exhibitions. We can reach out people via social media. So there is definitely a positive side to it, and that's a new way. Definitely in many cases people are just picking up a mobile phone and browsing through and taking a decision on which painting that they would like to buy or such. So all these things definitely are um, a matter to consider. With that said, art exhibitions, um, exhibitions or art houses that are exhibiting paintings definitely still do attract a crowd, and you get a one-on-one networking opportunity sometimes, and at the same time this is also going to help build your base in some way. And I think depending upon which country you are in, where exactly you are exhibiting, there's a lot of things that will that might go slightly different from what I'm saying here. So do check with the nearby exhibitor that you are going to exhibit with before really getting onto the work. That's the best thing. What I would definitely suggest is that it is a good idea to exhibit, but at the same time, you must have a good exhibiting partner that is caring for your artwork. Um, because there are definitely conditions between exhibitors and artists. The the pricing as such, how much of the percentage of profit that we need to share with them, and also the aspect of how to prepare and how to deliver and such, and how long, who will take responsibility for it, and how all these things definitely differ from one exhibitor to the other. So there is no standard out there. But all these things also tell you how good they are, how experienced they are, and how much caring they are with respect to your artwork. Because it could be that the charges are high, but at the same time, if you are being taken care of really very well, and they are really motivated and passionate about promoting your artwork, and also maybe are willing to share the customer details of whoever is buying your artwork, that is another thing to consider, isn't it? So that is definitely a positive thing. But on the other hand, if you are having a cold conversation and you do not know what's happening with your artwork, and that could be the case. I have had an extremely bad experience, which at a very early stage, and I'm thankful to that, which made me really think of, to wait on the exhibition idea and not to jump into it, because I was very sure that I will never get into such a mess. I think I'm also partly responsible because it was really early in my creative thought process and I wasn't sure. And I might have misunderstood and handed over some artwork to somebody highly responsible, and almost got to the stage where it was getting lost, or maybe stolen. And then yeah, when I finally had access to it, I figured out that they were almost kind of on the verge of being damaged, but luckily salvaged enough. So I've had that experience to know what could go wrong. I'm thankful for that experience now. So I'm really not the one going out there for exhibitions all the time. I have taken my paintings out into public and out into experimenting and such, but not too much with exhibitions until very recently that I found a very good exhibiting partner that are taking a combined responsibility. So we are also as artists responsible to take care of the painting. So we take turns to guard the artwork in that area, in that building. So we have a combined responsibility to do many things and we agree on it together. And that way I find it very warm and welcoming. And I know the people that I know the co-artists also, who they are and such. So a lot of things felt right for me. And I think that is the core requirement for you to consider. And be ready that from 20% to 50% of the profits could be asked by the exhibition owner, depending upon where you are and what exactly is the rate and such. So be ready with all that in your mindset to go for. Yeah, so that's an important point to consider. And once you have agreed on being into an exhibition, we have to prepare. So now let's look at some practicalities, and I'm discussing these practicalities based on the area that I am exhibiting and the most common required things here in this particular part of the world. What we are expected to have is that right behind our canvases, we have a what do you call a ear screw put in, a couple of ear screws put in, and then a string attached so that it can hold like this nicely and be held or be connected to a nylon wire that runs along the walls of the exhibition. And I think it's pretty much the case with many of the exhibitors in and around. So this is the basic requirement. Aside from that, of course, they expect few things to be either written like this or right behind, either laminated or added in the form of a paper that is cellophane taped on it with a participant number. If they give a participant number, in certain cases they do, in some cases it's not. And a few other information on the title of painting, the size and such, and the price as well, I guess. So yeah, the some requirements are pretty basic. They would prefer that they all have it in a standard fashion, so it's easier for them to do. And if your artwork is an oil painting on canvas, let's say for example, but it's a canvas that is rolled, it is still yet to be stretched on a wooden frame like this, they would definitely prefer that it is framed or in some position secured. So this is one basic requirement that you should be aware of, and I'm going to do that for my paintings here. When I get started with that, few things that I take care of. First of all, the floor I have just put in a blanket to cover and safeguard, and I have with me 3.5 to 35 35 millimeter 10 piece screw, that is a ear screw, that is ready here with me. I have a Ford screwdriver machine, and this piece is coming from a set that I have with me, and that is the piece that I have for this one to drill is 3.0, and that works fine for a 3.5. So it's already powered up, and I have a pencil and a measuring tape to measure where exactly I want to drill, a twine, and also a scissor ready to do the honors. Yes. So for my canvas, that is 40 by 50 centimeter, I am checking the inner frame length, and this is approximately, the inner frame length is approximately 41 centimeters here. So yeah, 41, yeah, approximately. So I'm thinking 1/4 of the size where I could drill. So I want to mark 10 centimeters from the inner ridge of my frame, the pencil, marking 10 centimeters on this side and also on the opposite side. Few things to take care of, that we don't have a toddler running around close by. You're going to drill, and also secure yourself if you feel like having a glove or something, and some working glasses, that is also perfect. And otherwise, we are ready now to drill. I'm gonna drill this one. I'm a left-hander, so I'm holding my canvas frame strongly with my right hand, and I use the left hand for my drilling. Let's drill away, and be careful that it doesn't, slip away onto the canvas itself. Slow and steady, nice and easy. I think I have managed fine. Let's check. I'm going to take one of these ear screws to go. Start screwing around. Yes. Start screwing around. What is that here? But start screwing. Yes. And then it starts tightening. I can feel it in my thumb. Yes. Fit. Let's do the same thing on the other side. I have a challenge because I'm a left-hander. I'm going to place it on the floor. This is also a good position where you dig down deep. So that's also good. Yeah. Okay. Good enough, I guess. Let's use the screw now. Yes, I can also feel the pressure here. Yes, so that is good enough. Now I'm going to take the twine to check the length. I think I will just directly loop it inside one of those ears. So this is what I call ear piercing of my paintings. Yes, and I take good distance to tie the knot, but it should not be really loose, so it should be tight enough to be able to hang without getting without getting toppled over on the wall. That is the reason why we are using this point. Otherwise, for example, if we are doing it right in the middle, it could just start toppling over when you hang it on the wall, from a top anchored uh, you know suspension. So let's do the honors now. Hmm? Yes, this is tight enough, goes well. Good. Done. And it holds well, jumps around like this. Nice. Yeah, so that was about artwork for an exhibition. Like I mentioned, there could be some specific requirements from your exhibitor, so you will have to read into what exactly is their instruction booklet or whatever to be very sure if there is anything else that is specific, but be very sure that you hand over in the proper manner so there's no misunderstanding and such. And also we will go through the varnishing aspect in our last session, last class that's coming up next. Yes, until we meet, stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy, stay motivated, stay inspired. See you around. Bye bye.